Hi friends, I'm so excited you're here today. We're welcoming fall with some really pretty updates, starting with a gorgeous vintage-inspired quilt from my Ownkoti collaboration. I'll also take you through a quick chandelier makeover using Rub and Buff, and we will finish with a perfect touch, a fresh hydrangea bouquet. Welcome, my name is Catherine from Art Timber Home. I just want to say thank you so much for spending time with me today. We have a lot to do. This bedroom is a wreck. So let's get started. I'm going to show you everything that we are going to do. But as you can see, the first thing we need to tackle is this chandelier. Cobwebs, can you believe that? Look at that, that is crazy. A couple of months ago, maybe a month ago, I vacuumed all the beams in the bedroom, cleaned it all up. I think the spiders decide to find another home, and that's all over my chandelier. So I have to decide what I'm going to do. I might rub and buff this chandelier really quick while my husband's at work. No going back. So that's part of the plan. Or chalk painted black, I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to use rub and buff like I did in the bathroom. Here's a reminder of the chandelier in the bathroom, and I will find the footage from the before all the way up. We even replaced the chain, and on a big ladder I rub and buff that top plate that touches the ceiling. So this was a shiny chrome. Beautiful now. My hydrangeas are starting to dry up. They call this hydrangea a white diamond. And here are my lime lights. Oh, there's that rooster across the street. I never get tired of hearing that. It's so fun. Anyway, I'm going to cut some of these. This one is really pretty. This is the one that never got planted as well. But that's going to be beautiful. I want to snip some of these and put these in the bedroom now that we're doing a refresh. And here's my spirea. A lot of this is already dried out. So I think I'm going to add a few of these as well. These are really pretty. And here are my lime lights on the side of the house. Ooh, and look at this crazy spider. It's right above the lime lights. And look at these. These are stunning. They're not quite all the way dried yet, but I'm going to snip some of those. Some of these. Looks like a lot of them didn't open yet. Maybe these aren't quite ready. Yeah, so I want to make an arrangement for that bedroom. So let's get started on this stuff. That's really neat. I just had to show you guys. It has been so warm in Ohio. My lilac is reblooming in some spots. I have already filmed my fall tour, but the reason for the bedroom reset is actually right here. Here's a little sneak peek. The rug came about a week ago. This is from a really sweet company called Ownkoti. The rug is a beautiful William Morris rug. I haven't even opened it. I've been waiting so long. And this lovely quilt, 100% cotton. I cannot wait to get that on my bed. So I'm going to bring in fresh flowers. We're going to be cleaning the windows really quickly in here. Rub and buffing the chandelier. Probably to my husband's horror. I wonder if he'll notice. And bringing in some fresh flowers and just dusting everything down. Everything is pretty dusty. I have not dusted in about 3 weeks. Anyway, that is 3 weeks with no dusting. I'm going to make some breakfast. It's just a couple of farm fresh eggs, a little bit of cream cheese, a little bit of salt, some organic half and half. Usually on keto, you don't do milk. In case you didn't know that, milk has a lot of sugar. And some red hot pepper seeds. So this is going to be my breakfast. And I'm going to eat this, and then we're going to get started on our day. I have a lot to do in that bedroom. I'm excited. Maybe a little scared about that chandelier thing. He probably won't even notice right away. Anyway, so I'm going to eat this and we're going to head into that bedroom and start cleaning it and getting it ready for that lovely quilt. Well, friends, we're going to start with the windows. They are pretty filthy. As you can see outside, the corn is still in the field. I usually do like to wait until it's all gone, but that's going to be a month from now, and these windows can't make it a moment longer. So before I get started, leave it in the comments if you remember what these are. My youngest daughter just bought me some. I have the tortoise shell in my hair right now, so it's really helping hold my bangs back. But let me know in the comments if you remember these. Let me know. I know you guys do. Maybe my younger audience doesn't remember. Maybe they think it's a new thing. But those of us that have been around for a while, I remember using those probably from 1975 to maybe 82 or 83. Anyway, giving away my age. But let's get started on this window and then we're going to head to the chandelier. I have a little helpful hint. I have always done this. If you have tilted windows, I usually get my tall kitchen garbage can and I put it at the bottom of the window. And then I tilt the window in. And also it makes a spot where you can throw away your paper towels or whatever you happen to be using. But I feel it's better. I feel like it keeps the weight off of the window frame better and gives it some support. So anyway, that's how I've done it for decades. Let's get this one started. I'm really dying to get to the chandelier. I really like this shade. I got this at Menard and I ordered these off Amazon. This was about $22. They don't seem to work like they did in the old days. It is such a pain. It never goes all the way up to get it down. It's several tries to make it stay down. We've tried playing with the mechanisms. I don't know. They're just not made the way they used to be. Oh, please forgive the traffic. I have enough of these for the bedroom, but I never ended up buying any more blinds because we had such difficulty with this one. I never put any on the front too. This one blocks a lot of the headlights. I've seen the motorized ones online. I don't know if I'll check into that or not. That could be a possibility, at least for the bedroom. But unfortunately, I will have to do this in another month or a few weeks, depending on when they take the corn down. It makes dust throughout our entire property, especially the windows. But this is a bit overdue. I usually do my windows about 4 times a year, or I used to. I think I'm going to have to ramp it up to maybe even once a month out here. It really does need it. I also wipe inside here too to keep this clean. I hate when you open the windows and it looks so dirty in there. There we go. And we usually take the screens out for the winter and store them. Kind of a pain, but they say it makes the window screen last longer. Oh, if it wasn't trafficy, I'd just leave this open. It's 77 degrees. At least it was an hour ago in Ohio. So the house is starting to heat up quickly. I have the ACs off so I can film for you guys. Okay, one window's done. I'll do the rest in a little bit. We're going to start on that chandelier. Right now I just have some plastic bowls. I like to use these or the styrofoam to put my rub and buff in and then just toss them when I'm done. So I've got European gold, antique. Let's see what I have the most of. Okay, good, antique. Grecian. Okay, I'm going to use just all antique gold. Sometimes I even mix them. I could even do that. Well, maybe I'll save those for the picture frames. I'm just going to use all antique gold in case I ever have to touch it up. Although it is fun mixing. It's kind of good to mix it inside of this. Just kind of work it back and forth, especially when they're new. Like this one, if not when you first open it, it is going to squirt out oil everywhere where it's came apart. And it still might, but then I can mix it up with my brush. And then we're going to get started on this. I'm so excited. Just pour it in. Looks pretty. Okay. I don't even think I'm going to open up the other one yet, just in case. This does go a long way. Maybe I'll use the little pouncer. I think that one's going to be too dry. I'm just going to use this one, I guess. Okay, I'm going to roll up my sleeves, climb on top of this chest at the end of the bed. I know it's going to be all over my fingers. Sometimes people wear gloves. Gloves feel like they get in the way for me, although my fingernails are probably going to be an issue. They're so long right now. Moment of truth. Let's get started. Well, it helps if I adjust the camera, right, guys? You will never see me if I don't move this. Okay, I've got the camera going again. I have a small little step ladder. Climbing on that and onto the trunk at the end of the bed. So here's where we're at. Yay, I'm so excited. Try to balance a little bit. I'd stand on the bed, but it's so awkward. It's got a pillow top, and that is not good. I'm not sure if you guys can see the top. Hopefully you can. It's probably easier to do this down, obviously, but it is kind of nice to have it up too. There's several ways you can do this. And if you take it down, maybe you just decide to use spray paint and do it that way, which is also, which is also a good idea. My poor arms are falling asleep. I hate that part. Pretty soon they'll be a little more level and not in the air. Comment below if any of you guys, your arms fall asleep, like when you put the shower curtain up or any of that. I mean, this will look funny at first, but then once you start smoothing it, it'll look so much better. There. It's looking pretty already. Even my flower print behind there looks much better. I know my sweet friend Sarah from She Holds Dearly, she did some sort of technique on her chandelier in her master bedroom where it has a wood. She made it look like faux wood, and hers is very lovely as well. And she added some crystals, so I'm thinking I might add some to this. I don't know if we'll have to drill a little hole or what needs done, maybe through these. But either way, at some point I'm thinking of doing that. But For now, this is a start. Just a little streaky there, but I can add a little bit more. See, just layer a little bit more on and it'll blend out, blend the streaks out a bit. Leave it in the comments if any of you guys are going to do this to your lighting. And it doesn't have to be a chandelier, it can be a table lamp. I'm going to have him tighten that. Oh, well, now he's definitely going to notice. I twirled it around too much and loosened it. Shoot, I might have to add the bedding tomorrow. I might have to make this in 2 parts, guys. I'm sorry, but it'll be one video. I am probably going to have to film tomorrow as well. It was going to be a lot to get done anyway. I do have some picture frames to rub and buff. So I might be able to get that up myself, I think. If I do, then I can do all this in one day. I'm so happy I switched this out. This was pewter, not my favorite shade, but in case you haven't heard the story, I know I've told it, so I know the people that have been with me since the beginning know the story of the chandelier. But my husband and I used to have a cabinet company, and he was doing work in somebody's home, and the electrician had taken down this fixture for the homeowner and somehow lost some of the parts up there. He lost the finial on the bottom. So because of that, he had to buy the homeowner a brand new one. And this is in the Country Magazine. She showed my husband a picture of it. This was back in the day. So this was, gosh, probably 12 years ago, something like that, 10, 12 years ago. This was $300 that she paid for it. So the electrician bought her a brand new one, just like it. And she gifted this to us. She asked my husband if he would like it. And it's been in a dining room at another house. And it's only been here, but I've never really cared for pewter. And I've been dying to do something to it, but we hung it up, get it out of the way. Oops, good thing I have these. Good thing I have, ouch. Good thing I have the paper there. Anyway, it was missing the plate, so I'll lift this up and see if you can see it. On the bottom, this is an electrical plate. My husband never did fill that with anything. I need to do that, but I'm going to cover it for today. And we actually found on the side of the road, air quotes with one finger, trash picked an old fabric umbrella. And the umbrella was in horrible shape, but I kept the wooden finial. I don't know why. I loved how weathered it looked. So my husband added an electrical plate and this, and that kind of finished off the chandelier. So that's the story of our free chandelier. Okay, let's get back to the music. I'm sure I'll pick out some lovely classical music for you guys. Comment below if you like classical music. Comment below what your favorite music is. I'm so happy you're here with me today, friends. Hopefully my husband will be okay with this. He didn't say I couldn't do it. It took me a while to get him to warm up to the idea of doing the bathroom one. And I said, it'll make a good video for the channel. And then he succumbed. So that only took a few years. Ooh, this looks really good with that weathered wood. Look at that. I'll leave a little of that showing. It's going to look so rustic that way. I debated on painting it black first and then going over it a bit, but I thought, this is pewter, so it's already going to turn out a little darker than the bathroom, which was a bright chrome. I'm going to put the new bedding. I'm going to add a beautiful flower arrangement. Run outside and pick some hydrangeas. And yeah, it's going to be lovely. And I probably should wash my curtains. I'll probably do that after I film. Get those spruced up. They could use a little washing. Okay, and you've got to do both sides of the arms, so you got to double check where you're at. I need to put some more rub and buff in my thing. Probably do this part last. Nobody even sees that part, so I'm not sure. Look how that just changes everything. It warms it up, brings it to life. Okay, friends, I restarted the camera. I'm on the very last one. So I had this, and actually this works really well. It bends, so I would recommend this instead of the little sponge brushes. Yeah, so this is great. I'll show you. It's so much faster. Try not to step on any rub and buff that I have on this paper. I don't want to get it all over. But look how fast it covers it, and it smooths it out much better than the little sponge brush with kind of pouncing. And you can go over it as you're doing it. It dries somewhat quickly, but not too quickly, so you can touch it almost right away. But I'll probably be holding on to one of these when I switch over. So these are all washed and dried now. I got this out of the basement. This actually has a hole in it, but I love the wide top, so I'm thinking about putting a beautiful plate, probably a silver platter underneath this. I already have one in the bedroom, and adding tons of huge hydrangeas just overflowing out of it. So that's my plan. So we're just gonna do these. I might need some more rub and buff, but we'll see. Just stick your finger in there. I'm gonna need a little more. I'll be right back, guys. Oops, let me just pause it. There, I added some more. So I would say the chandelier and these took about half a tube of rub and buff, and this is about $10 a tube. Let me pat that a little bit. You can also pat this on a paper towel if you feel like you get too much. But for $5, you can change the whole look of a chandelier. Is it faster to spray paint? Yes. Is it hard sometimes to get things off when they're already on the ceiling? Yes. And reinstalled. So for wives that have busy husbands, this is your way to redo your chandelier. I ended up doing a second coat of rub and buff on these. I think they look much better. There. And this is what I normally use. Let me stop this a minute. The clear. But I got these off Amazon. They're frosted. So we're going to put these in. So leave it in the comments, friends. Do you use the frosted or do you use clear? It's funny, I've used just the clear for ever since I could remember. This is the first time I've used frosted, but I love Sarah, and I know she's really great she's a great interior designer, so I trust her judgment. There we go. So friends, thank you for being very patient with me. I'm gonna open the rug first and then the quilt. And as I stated, the rug may wind up in my bathroom, or right here I just have to rearrange. The chest that's here may go up to Emma's room at the end of the bed. And that antique one that I received from my good friends Bob and Jenny from church, that will probably go at the end of the bed now. So that's what I'm hoping to switch out. I'll have to wait for my husband to get home and we'll see what happens. But this is a William Morris inspired rug, so I cannot wait to see it. This is a washable rug, and even prettier in person. Let me move this. It's got a rubber backer, so it shouldn't shift as much. Wow, this would go like, it would look so pretty in here. The bathroom, maybe by the entrance to the dining room, since it's non-slip. Here, I forgot what size I ordered. I know it's large. I think it's like a, let's see, how tall am I? 5 foot? I think it's like a 5x3. There. What do you guys think? I'm sure you guys recognize the pattern. I actually purchased some wallpaper in this pattern from Amazon, but then I returned it. It was going to be for my pea green china cabinet, the back. Wow, the colors are just so vivid. Let me give you a close-up and I'll explain to you about the sweet company called Ownkoti that sent these lovely gifts to me so that I could share them with you. It's a little wrinkled right now, but look how vivid the coloring is. That is so pretty. I'm so excited. So the company, hashtag Ownkoti, Ownkoti, their company will be linked in my description box. along as these two products that I picked out. So be sure to head over there. They have a huge website. Oh my goodness. There was so much to choose from. It was so difficult. Any style that you use, they had pretty much everything. They have coverlets. So I picked out the Quilt. It's a comforter. They also have just bed covers, which are thinner for summer. But with winter upon us, I picked out the Quilt. And Ownkoti they were so sweet. They were nice enough to give me a 15% discount code for you guys. And the code is just Timber, capital Timber. That will be in my description as well as their company. So go ahead and check them out. And I know you'll find something that you want there. So many choices. There was a lot of confusion with this order. My fault. I accidentally, believe it or not, I gave them the wrong home address. I can't believe I did that. Well, when they brought the rug, it was two separate orders. They had made a big X over my address. And I thought, oh, maybe Ownkoti made a little typo. And it was their fault. So then when the comforter never showed up, I had to go to the post office, text back and forth to Ownkoti and try to get this figured out. And it was actually delivered to, an address that was similar to the rug address, which I had typoed, but it was one number off. So they delivered it to a 326 instead of my home address. And I had accidentally typed 325, which is not even my house address. So the rug got to me, but the comforter did not. Two separate shipping dates. So I went to 326, and lo and behold, all that was there was a cornfield. Could not find it. I went back to UPS. They pulled up the tracking, did a little map quest, showed me, and they're like, well, there's a field over there and a business. I said, okay, I know which business it is. So as soon as I got in my car from the post office, I called them immediately and said, I think you have a package of mine. So they were so happy to get this out of their showroom, out of their office. So happy to get this out. It had been sitting on their couch where you walk in. They do automotive repairs. Very sweet guy. So anyway, this is kind of dusty and dirty on the outside, plus probably from being shipped. So let's open this up. I want to be careful. I don't want to get anything. They have it taped really well, as you can see. I might have to forward pass this because this is going to take a bit. And then we're going to make the bed. Oh, and I meant to tell you, this is just lovely. It's reversible as well. Here's the green side with just a little bit of rose. Very Victorian looking. That was the pattern I was going for. And then the opposite side is the dusty rose with the green. So you can flip it over. A lot of people are using plum, which seems to be a very popular color for now. So this is going to be lovely. I'm going to bring in those hydrangeas. I'm going to go clip them. Wow, so pretty. There, it's going to be hard to pick the side. Oh, look at that. I don't know if I should use the green for Christmas and then use this side now. Thank you again, Ownkoti, for gifting me these lovely products. Look at the detail. The fabric is just so beautiful. I can't wait for you guys to go to the website and see what you could find. As a reminder, don't forget my 15% off code. It will be in the description box as well as on the screen. Just Timber, capital Timber. That will get you 15% off. So thank you again, Ownkoti. Now let's make this bed. Okay, let's turn on the chandelier. There we go. I wish it was where it needed to be, but my husband's gonna have to look at that. I'll probably have to take all the bedding back off, but let's make this bed. quilts do seem to come with pillow shams. I did not order any, so I'll have to see if I like my white ones that I have with it. If not, I could always order a couple of pillow shams as well. And on the tag, just so you can see, it says cotton, and then it says cashmere over here. So not quite sure what that means exactly, but is cashmere cotton as well? I did not know that. That's funny. I've heard of cashmere sweaters, but I never knew what they were. It might not hang over a whole lot. Our bed is more difficult because we have this, it's a pillow top and a topper. Things don't come down as far because of that. That is not their fault. That's because we have two toppers on here. So I don't know if I'll have to take off one or if it'll just hang like that. They're beautiful. Wow, this is so pretty. Okay, I've got it draped down here. I also have a bed skirt on my bed as well, so there we go. Wow, this is amazing quality. The pattern is just so pretty. And there, I'll give you another glimpse of the reverse again. As you know, green's my favorite. It's going to be a hard choice to know which way to flip it all the time. But I think for fall, since I'm going with pink type of colors and rose, I think we're going to keep it on this side and switch it green. I really need to invest in some better pillowcases as well. There. What I usually do, I put 3 standard pillows in the back. There, I put 3 standard ones in the back. And then the ones we use every night, these are my pillows. I have 2 covers on them. Here, I usually put the zipper in the middle so people can't see it. I line that up kind of centered. Maybe I'll fold the bed down. That would look pretty. Let's fold that down. I think this one needs a second cover. You can sort of see the My Pillow logo through there. There, and then I put 2 there. Yeah, that way everything does look as matchy-matchy. That's pretty, I like that. So as you could see, this is the quilt that matches the pillow shams, which I still love. Oops. But it is in bad need of repair. Look at that. My husband is a very hot sleeper, so I'm constantly bleaching this. I bought it before we ever moved in, so I bleach it so often. This is his side, that it just started tearing. It was a 2-inch hole and just kept on going. So what I'm going to do is just cut a few inches off, because the rest of it's perfectly fine. Fold it, put it at the end of the bed maybe. So that is still usable, so I'm still going to keep this as well. So anyway, we're going to get on to the rest of the room. My husband's home. We're going to go eat some dinner, and we'll get back in here tomorrow. Well, friends, it's the next day, and as you can see, I decided I might as well take down my sheet curtains. I washed all 6 panels. These 2 have already been hung up. And I'm wiping down the woodwork as I go. The windows were done yesterday. And the ledge way up here, I'm wiping that off. Here is a close-up look of the molding. So I am wiping down the curtain rod, wiping off the rings, and that edge right there was really dirty. I haven't got over there. Oh, there's a cobweb above the door. Let me get closer. I have the last load of my twin curtain sheets in the dryer. I'll have that video linked in the description box below. The rug from the bathroom is being washed. I have to decide where I'm going to put my new rug. I'll give you another snapshot of that. So this is another close-up of the rug. I have to decide where that's going. I might test it out in my bathroom. Several places it could go. So I thought, while I'm cleaning the bedroom, I might as well start on the bathroom. And things are a bit crazy here. As you probably saw earlier and have seen in my past videos, this is our old coffee table. We've had this for probably 25 years. It matches, excuse my shoes on the floor, my new comfy Skechers. It matches the 2 end tables that I have in here. We had those, well, obviously 25 years ago. One of the few things that we bought new. I ended up chalk painting the bottom, and I kind of darkened the tops just a little bit. They were a little too light for my liking. Anyway, I believe this is going to go into Emma's room at the end of her bed. And then the trunk that Jenny gave me. Yeah, see, mops, frames. The trunk that Jenny gave me, here's the slightest sneak peek, is under all the bedding. So anyway, that got moved in here from the living room. The trunk, the coffee table that is in the living room now, is going to be moved upstairs to Emma's room. I still have to get the armoire in place. So 1 piece of furniture and my collab with Ownkoti turned into a whirlwind for my home. And, oh, there's a little sneak peek of the chandelier. I took this crystal from my dining room. It did not have, it had crystals actually. The one in the dining room had crystals. I'll show you that one. A little sneak peek of the armoire. Don't look too close. Have to get that in place. This chandelier that we ordered from Home Depot, and then I had an antique ceiling plate from a vintage light fixture that we put up there. And this came with the hugest, gaudiest crystals. So I took them off and I did not like them, so I ordered these. This one is missing because that's in the bedroom now. I ordered these off of Amazon. As you can see, it originally has the hole where the old crystals were. So it makes it wonderful for Christmas decorating. I can swoop garland around. I swoop beads sometimes around there. So I'm gonna go in right now, make the bed, try to get things together here, let those sheets keep drying. And what did I keep in that big coffee table that was the end of the bed? Extra books and smaller frames. So all of this was stored inside that coffee table. And you can't quite see everything, but everything under this basket, let me try to lift this up. Oops, too heavy. And all of this was actually stored in there as well. There's a really nice Christmas book, an art book from a thrift store. I actually took a picture of Mary Magdalene out of here. That was really neat looking, and I put it in my bathroom. Bigger art prints and for some weird reason, my cookbooks. So I'm hoping to fit my cookbooks in my kitchen now. We're doing a lot of rearranging here at our timber home. It has been quite crazy. It's beautiful outside in Ohio. I think it's about 77. It was 77 yesterday. So I am in a spring cleaning mood. And here's more frames, more little frames. And then I just bought those lovely vintage inspired frames from Dollar General last week. You guys saw that in one of my last videos. Here's my lovely print from Andrea, Pine and Prospect. I've got to put this back in its ornate frame. I borrowed its frame for another photo. So anyway, that will go back in an ornate frame. I have to display that. So anyway, this is the disaster we're looking at, but give me a few days and it's gonna look spectacular. Here's a little sneak peek of the rug in the bathroom. I think I'm loving it here. I went upstairs. This is a shower curtain I got at Menards before we ever moved in here. I bought it specifically for this place, so I'm going to be switching this out. So I will be taking down this lovely fall one. This is really pretty as well. And what's so nice about my home, so many things can go in different areas. I can just rearrange, get a few extra shower curtains, switch them up when I get bored. But that picture that looks like an oil painting, that is the reason I bought this shower curtain. I thought they paired really well together. So I'm going to switch out the shower curtain and show you everything at the end. Well, I do not want this video to get too long. I am going to finish dusting off camera, get the bed made, go out and pick the flowers. I may get a different vase. I'm not sure how this is going to exactly look, but we'll see. Fill that with a lot of beautiful hydrangeas from outside. So I'm going to get busy. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Well, I just got in from outside. Boy, is it hot outside. I have to turn the ACs back on. I turned them off so I could film this for you. Look at these beautiful hydrangeas. I have a whole basket full, all different colors. The limelights. I don't know what this one is called, but it looks a little purple. Try not to mess these up. Look how pretty this one is. So I got 3 different colors, kind of like a dark pink. I even added a little bit of spirea somewhere in there. I'm going to add these to a vase, and I'm going to take this in the other room. It's going to be messy, so. Well, friends, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. A huge thanks to Ownkoti for sponsoring today's video. If you missed it, check out my last video where we went antique shopping, did a little Amazon haul, and I gave you a peek outside our historic home with all the renovations that we have done so far. And don't miss next week's video. I will be collaborating with the YouTube channel Little House on Metairie for a cozy fall decorate with me in the living room. Can't wait to share it with you. See you then.